Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I hope you've had your vitamin C, the real one, had your coffee. Good to have you on with us this morning. If you can, say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Love to say hello to our dear friends on a daily basis. Okay. Let's see here. Andrea, you're number one on the hit parade from Niagara Falls. There's Brahim, number two, and Kevin, number three. Rosalinda, right up there. Lucille, good morning to you. And Mary saying hi to Dave and Helga. You never say hi to me, Mary. And Amber in New Jersey. Rosa in Montreal. Wendy is on with us from Markham this morning. Sandy in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Lorraine in British Columbia. Barishan, how are you? Judy in disguise in New Brunswick. And Rita, hi Rita. And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Fran, you're out of the clouds. I saw you this morning. Marla in Oregon, how are you? Janice in Brampton. Etta. Wanda in Ridgeway, Ontario. Annie in Lively. Kevin, laughing. Maria, Portugal. Debbie. And Michelle in Ottawa. Good morning. And Brahim saying hi to his friends. Mary, how are you? There she's saying hi to me. Dina, Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland, and Lynn. Marine from Boca Raton, Florida. Patricia, Florida. Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Yvonne in Petawawa. Dennis in Norwich. Sandy, Vancouver, Washington. Luella, hi Luella. West Tennessee. Dave, how are you? Mary, Patricia, Nativity, there you are, Nativity. Peggy in Blizzard Valley. Carol, Catherine in Springdale, Newfoundland. All friends. Hi, Lori and Ryan in Sarasota, Florida. Andrea, good morning. Janice, Francis and Vaughn. All dear friends. Hi, Sandra. Heather and Miramichi. Lise, how are you? Kevin's saying hi to Andrea and Lori. I love when you say hi to each other too. Cheryl, West Virginia. Madeleine, there she is from Kippawa, Quebec. Christine, Fort Worth, Texas. How are you? Lisa, Judy. Good morning, you guys. We love you dearly. And Paul, how is you? Gertie, there you are in sunny Burlington and hot. And Eileen says, I miss her every day. I don't mean to, Eileen. And I mean that. Brandon saying good morning from Craig and Darla. Okay. Grace in from Newfoundland. Love you guys in Newfoundland. Okay. Now, I'm just, anyway, talking with someone yesterday, and Doc, why are you so controversial? Well, I don't mean to be. Okay? I don't mean to be. It's not my fault that dietitians and doctors have been poorly trained in nutrition. I hate to say it. It's not my fault. So why do I have to be controversial? Well, because the last few days I've heard this over and over again. Okay? people discussing kidney stones, and the doctor told them to cut back on red meat, kidney stones. Gout, cut back on red meat. High cholesterol, cut back on red meat. Gut problems, you're having trouble digesting red meat. Heart disease, red meat. Weight loss, well, too many calories. No wonder you're eating too much steak. Cancer. We've done a few sessions recently on cancer. Cut back on red meat. Don't eat any red meat. Well, guys, no wonder I got to push back on that. It's not true. It's the opposite of that. Sun, steak, and steel. Now, I don't think I have to convince anyone about the sun. Or I guess maybe I would. How good the sun is. Let me read this, okay? This is a new study, okay, on vitamin D. Let me get it out here because I've got it right here. What happens 20 minutes after the sun hits your skin? 20 minutes, okay? This is a new study. Scientists say your body releases hundreds of natural antimicrobial defenders that help fight harmful bacteria, fungi, parasites, viruses. Most people have no idea, I'm just reading the study, have no idea that sunlight triggers hidden immune responses inside the body. So guys, you know me. Always talking about the sun. They told you to get out of the sun. I'm telling you to get in the sun. They told you to put your sunscreen on. I tell you never to use sunscreen. Scared skinny of the sun. And research after research after research proves the importance, including your immune system, not only your T cells, but hundreds of natural antimicrobial defenders against fungus, against parasites, against bacteria, against viruses. Okay. That's the sun. But they do the same thing with red meat, guys. You know, they really do. They would rather you eat salad than a steak. And I'm telling you, there's no comparison. Okay? I'm telling you, there's no comparison. And guys, one thing you will agree with, I've been consistent about that. I've been telling you that for a long, long time. When you look, okay, when you look at a piece of steak or hamburger, okay, always remember what's in it. Okay? Taurine, creatine. Because people go, Doc, do you like creatine as a supplement? I like it in steak. You know, I know creatine is one of the most studied supplements. But when you have a steak, you're having creatine, taurine, creatine, carnosine, carnitine, CoQ10, the 5 C's in steak. So when I hear, oh, heart disease, better cut back on steak because of cholesterol. I get a migraine, guys. I get a migraine. You know how much I talk about omega-3 DHA? Well, when you have a steak, you get omega-3 DHA. When you have a steak, you get heme iron. You don't get heme iron anywhere else. You can get iron in spinach, but not heme. And heme is the one, H-E-M-E, is the one you absorb. It's the one your body wants. I told you about Popeye, right? Popeye lied. It wasn't spinach. It was steak. D3, vitamin D in food, steak. B12. Man, oh man, I talk about that stuff every day. Every day, right? And so, doctors are always talking, or not all of them, not all dietitians, just about. They're so poorly trained, guys. I hate to tell you that. They've been hoodwinked. They've been told, they've been given wrong information. You want a better memory? Eat steak. That's what they're saying about creatine, by the way. They always said creatine was good for your muscles. But the new research is saying that creatine is good for your brain. Yeah, eat a steak. And guys, you know what I mean. When I say steak, you can have roast beef, you can have hamburger, pork a little bit less. Still considered more of a red meat than a white meat. Okay? You know what I mean by that? Bacon. Yeah. Bacon is better than oatmeal. You want more muscle? Creatine. You want more brain power? Creatine. What do you eat? Steak. You want a better liver? Eat steak. Why? Because it won't fill up your liver with fat. When you eat carbs, you fill your liver with fat. Because carbs turn rapidly to sugar, stored in the liver, the Costco parking lot. You're going to have a better immune system. You're going to have better skin, better anti-aging. Why? Because you get much less glycation. Sugar causes glycation. You're going to get a better heart. The more steak you eat, the better it is for your heart. The more steak you eat, the less chance you have of getting cancer. Heart disease, cancer, the biggest killers. Alzheimer's. If you eat steak, you ain't ever gonna get diabetes. If you live on, I'm not saying just to live on steak, but if you did, you'd never be a diabetic. Diabetes is sugar and things that turn to sugar rapidly. Your thyroid, listen, Linda, Larry, especially Linda, because this is for you ladies. This is so important. You know what's good for your thyroid? Not salad, but steak. And I tell you why. Because of selenium. Your thyroid needs selenium. Your thyroid needs zinc to operate properly. And a lot of women especially, their thyroid slows to a crawl because they don't eat red meat. And this is why when a thyroid patient used to come and said, your thyroid is not up to snuff. Oh, I knew that, doctor. I knew it. Why didn't anybody tell me that? I said, okay, but I'm telling you now. I said, now go home and eat eggs, meat, and cheese. Why? Because I want to get at your thyroid to give it the nutrients it needs for it to work properly. You got to cut out the sugar, because when you cut out the sugar for your thyroid, you empty your liver. If you empty your liver, you're going to convert T4 to T3. Now your thyroid gives you a high five. Plus, if you change your diet to adding steak, adding meat, adding good dairy, adding like butter even, and your eggs, your choline in your eggs, what happens? Your thyroid thanks you. Your thyroid is so dependent on food and the right food. Why do you think today we have so much trouble with people with sluggish thyroids? The thyroids are not working properly. Yep. Salad won't do it. You like your salad, ladies? Okay, you can have some salad. I listened to a comedian there. What's the guy's name? I can't remember now. It was so funny. He said, salad is a promissory note that steak is coming. He said, it's not food. I laughed when he said that. It's a promissory note that your steak is coming. I loved it. Okay, so we just had to chat about it because I get a migraine. You know, when the doctors say kidney stones, cut back on steak. Ooh, heart disease, cut back on steak. Ooh, cancer, cut back on steak. I can't handle it. Gout, cut back on steak. Oh. You want to lose weight? Cut back on bread, not steak. How's that? Okay? It ain't calories in and calories out. It's the density of nutrition, the density of nutrients in food. The more nutrients there is in food. You want a B vitamin? Eat a steak. You want a B complex? Eat a steak. Yeah. Food first, guys. You want a better gut? Well, don't feed the bears. Don't give fungi, yeast, sugar, because that's what they live on. Okay. Now, got a study here on fructose. This is a new one on fructose. Okay. High fructose corn syrup. Average North American. Average. It's mind-boggling. 20 teaspoons a day on average. It's a dump truck load at the end of the year, guys. Our bodies were never, ever, ever meant to take in that much sugar. Okay? And we see the results of it. Why are we so sick? It's one of the biggest reasons, guys. And I talk to you all the time about fructose. It's different. A bear loves fructose to get fat and for hibernation. You're not a bear. You're not a bear. I don't mind a little bit of fructose. You guys know this, okay? You know it, so that you know that I'm not a carnivore. I'm not. Okay? I don't mind if you're a carnivore for 30 days. I really don't. I love that. But I'm not a carnivore. I love fruit, guys. Eat it. Don't drink it. Remember that. You want to have some fruit? You know me and berries, okay? Blueberries, they're coming. They're coming here in Northern Ontario. Very soon now, in the next week or so, I think they'll be out. And they're the best in the world as far as I'm concerned. They're so good for you. But you're not going to live on it, are you? You're not a bear. A bear will eat up to 30,000 blueberries in a day. I'd like to know who counted. But that's what I hear. Yeah, but they're doing all that fructose to get fat. And how do we get fat? High fructose corn syrup in all the foods, pretty well in the middle aisles of your grocery store. They changed the sugar. And secondly, we're drinking fructose. So worst thing you can do is drink fructose. I was reading something just about all these specialty drinks that young people like. You know how much I love coffee, right? Have you ever heard that before on this program? How much I love coffee? The real vitamin C. I go into a coffee shop and you see these young people and I want to go give them a high five. Are you listening to the doctor is in? I want to go up to them and say, you're listening to the doctor is in. You're coming in for a coffee. No, they're coming in for specialty drinks full of fructose. You're drinking sugar. Don't drink it. It goes right to your liver. It doesn't even go through your protective mechanism of your body has sort of a protective mechanism for sugar. It's called your pancreas. It's called insulin. Well, high fructose corn syrup, at first, it doesn't spike your insulin. And if you don't spike insulin, that sugar goes directly to your liver. And that's why we see so much fatty liver. Okay? So you don't get the protective mechanism of insulin. And then, you know what it does once it gets to your liver? It elevates your triglycerides, your fat balls. Fat balls in the bloodstream. Very dangerous. It causes adipose tissue. Fat. And when your liver is packed up, your body says, well, I need more parking spots. There's not enough parking spots in the liver. You don't have enough parking spots in your muscles. So what must I do? I got to make more parking spots. I've got to create more fat tissue. You got fatty liver, more fat. Look at the world today. Just be observant. It destroys, high fructose corn syrup destroys your nitric oxide, which damages your blood vessels because nitric oxide is so important to open up your blood vessels. And one thing that high fructose corn syrup does, worse than sugar, worse than normal sugar, okay, just ordinary sugar, 10 times more glycation with high fructose corn syrup, okay? And high fructose corn syrup, by the way, contains mercury. That'll get across your blood-brain barrier because you're feeding the bears. Yeast, fungus is a carrier. Anyway, guys, you know, we've talked about this a lot, and I do some repetition, but it's unreal. And that's why it's so good, guys. Let me encourage you, okay? You might even think about doing this again if you need it. Do the reset, guys. When you get 30 days off of sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup, your body thrives with that. Thrives with that. What do I call high fructose corn syrup? The antichrist of sugar. And don't drink it. Whatever you do, don't drink that sugar. We live in a world, isn't it? Like, man sometimes makes me real mad. Like, man, they do good things, okay? Mankind. But boy, oh boy, when they start playing with nature and start playing even with sugar, like cane sugar, and they said, well, you know what, it's not addictive enough. Let's make one much more addictive. So they go into a laboratory and they create a high fructose corn syrup in a lab. And then you see gout up 300% since the 1980s, when like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, all the food companies, they switched their sugars. They went to cheap, addictive, very sweet, much sweeter than sugar is high fructose corn syrup. It's a liver killer. It drives up uric acid. Why do we see so much metabolic syndrome today? It drives up uric acid. And then you combine it with the crappy carbs already. The breads, the noodles, right? The pasta, the cereals. Like that stuff, guys, gets converted to sugar so rapidly in your body. Your insulin's going nuts, damaging the kidneys. Amazing. Amazing. It's amazing on the reset too, by the way. Talking to somebody the other day that did the reset. Said, you know what, Doc? I had migraines for 20 years. And they went away. After I did the reset, I cut out sugar in my diet. Said, yeah, well, you emptied your liver. A lot of good things happen when you empty your liver. A lot of good things happen. Your triglycerides go down. Your cholesterol goes up. Your HDL. Cholesterol's on your side. It's not your enemy. You want to have a heart attack? Lower your cholesterol. Anyway. Okay, guys. What's tomorrow? Q&A. Q&A. Okay? Too late to send your questions in? I don't think so. Okay? I'm not the boss. I just work here. But I don't think it's too late to send your questions in to info@martinclinic.com. Some of you are asking questions here during the program. Can you please send that question to info@martinclinic.com? Let me answer it on our program. Guys, I don't mind doing Q&A every day if you want. Okay? I don't mind doing Q&A every day. If we got that many questions, I'll answer your questions every day. Okay? Okay. Guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.